Okay, so, here we go. This is based on kind of what we did yesterday and we put in our notebook. A lot of this should be review. I know the quadratic stuff is not, but the other stuff really should be review. So, first of all, and this is actually on your exit ticket, is number one linear, quadratic, or exponential?
Linear.
It's linear. Okay, how do we know it's linear? Well, first of all, if you remember y equals mx plus b, that's a linear equation, but y'all, the power on that x is a 1. That's why it's linear. Okay?
Are we gonna, do we have to tell you which graph it is, on the exit ticket?
The exit ticket's going to look just like this, except for you've got to label each one as linear, quadratic, and exponential. The exit ticket looks just like this.
We have to label it.
Right, you're going to have to tell me if it's linear, quadratic, or exponential. It's right there on your notebook. Boom, 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 all the way across. Okay, so this is y equals mx plus b form, so your slope is 3 and your y-intercept is negative 2. Because this is y equals mx plus b. M is slope, b is your y-intercept. Okay? Okay, this is in ax plus by equals c form. Okay, so my a is 3. My B is negative 4, and my C is 12. By the way, is this linear, quadratic, or exponential? It's linear. Okay? So slope is opposite of A divided by B. So opposite of A is negative 3 divided by B is negative 4. Your slope is 3/4. For your x-intercept, you cover up your y, and you've got 3x equals 12. When you divide both sides by 3, you find out your x-intercept is 4. For your y-intercept, you cover up your x, you get negative 4y equals 12. You divide both sides by 4, and your y-intercept is negative 3. How'd y'all do there? Okay. Number 3, linear, quadratic, or exponential?
Linear.
Linear. Okay, slope is opposite of A divided by B. X-intercept, cover up your y, divide, you get a 3. Divide by 4. Y-intercept, cover up your x, divide, you get a 4. Okay, we good? Those are all your linears. Okay? Number 4, linear, quadratic, or exponential. How do you recognize it? Y'all, the x is the power. That's how you recognize an exponential. The x is the power. Okay, my factor is, this is the form, y equals a b to the x. The b is the factor. What would that be if you looked in a table? You would be multiplying by 3. Y-intercept is the a, it's 2. If this number is bigger than 1, what do we have?
Growth.
Growth. Question there? I'm not going to keep asking these. 5 and 6 are what? Exponential, right? How do we know? How do we know these are exponential? The x is the power. Okay?
What's the pattern?
Oh, I'm not done. I was just going to write those out. Okay, so factor here is a half. The factor is not 2, y'all. The factor is a half. Now, what is the pattern, though? Divide by 2. So if you were looking in a table, you'd be dividing by 2. If you were looking in a table. What's the y-intercept?
3.
3. Is this growth or decay?
Okay.
How? Because this number is what? Smaller than 1. So this is decay. Question there? Okay, here the factor is 1/3. The pattern would be divide by 3. Your y-intercept would be 2. Is this growth or decay?
Decay.
That number is smaller than 1. This is decay. It's going to be decreasing.
How do you know the pattern?
because of this factor. And if you look back in your notebooks, we did a stint of that. Let's see if I can find a notebook here to show y'all. So that you guys don't have to back your notebook up. Okay, so I'll go back in my notebook, see if I can show you this. Okay, so if you go back a page, this is the exponential. The pattern here was multiplying by 2. And see, that was growth. If you go back and look at this, the pattern here was dividing by 3. That was decay. Okay. All right. Good question. Okay. All right. Number 7. Linear, quadratic, or exponential? Quadratic. It's hard to see in this form, but when you put it in a box, when you do the 2 by 2 box, what pops up in the first box when you multiply?
X squared.
X squared. Y'all, quadratic is x squared all day long. Quadratic is x squared. Okay? So, x-intercepts. We have to be careful. It's the opposite sign of what's in here. So it should be 4 and negative 2. Okay, up and down in y-intercepts, we got to do our box. So we got x and negative 4. We got x and 2. So I've got x squared. See, that's how it reveals it's a quadratic right there. It's got a square on it. Linear has a power of 1 on it. Exponential has an x as the power. Okay? So then we got negative 4x, we've got 2x, we've got negative 8. I combine here, so I've got x squared minus 2x minus 8. And don't forget, this has the negative 1 out in front that we didn't do anything with. Do y'all see the negative 1 out in front? This has got the negative 1 out in front. So that's when I distribute that, I'm going to get negative 1x squared. Then I distribute here and get a positive 2x. Then I distribute here and get a positive 8. So now, what does that reveal? Well, the leading coefficient, the a, is negative. When the a is negative, what's going on with your parabola? It's going down. And then your y-intercept is that c right there. Your y-intercept is 8. Y'all, when you've got a negative out there, don't forget to distribute that negative 1 all the way through. Okay? Okay, here, x-intercepts. Remember, opposite signs. 4 and negative 2. 2 by 2 box. X and negative 4. X and 2. So we got x squared. We've got minus 4x. We've got positive 2x. We got negative 8. When I simplify that, I got x squared minus 2x minus 8. And there's nothing else there. So right here is your y-intercept. And then because the leading coefficient is positive, it's going to open up. Y'all okay? Yeah? Kind of? Okay. Okay? All right, I just gave you one more. So negative 4 and positive 2 here. Is it the same one? No, I changed the signs. Okay, so we got x squared, we got 4x. We got negative 2x, we got negative 8. And then when I combine here, I get a positive 2x. Okay, so leading coefficient is positive, so it's going to open up. Y-intercept is negative 8. Okay. All right, this is linear, quadratic, or exponential. power on my x? Yeah, power on my x is 1. This is linear. This is actually point slope form. It's under your linear in your notebook. Okay, so the way this is written, it's a little tricky. First of all, the slope's easy to pick out. This is the form. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Okay? So y'all, the slope is easy to pick out. There it's 2, and here it's 1/5. Slope is easy to pick out. It's the point that's on that line that's tricky. Here's why it's tricky. Y'all, the y comes first here, but in an ordered pair, where does the y go?
Second.
Y goes last. The x comes last here, but in an ordered pair, where does the x go? That's what makes that hard. Then if that wasn't hard enough, your form is telling you to take the opposite, see the minus signs? The opposite of the sign. So y'all, your y here is minus 4, so the y coordinate is positive 4. Your x here is positive 7, so your x coordinate is negative 7. So your ordered pair should be negative 7, 4. So I'll say it one more time. Y'all, the x part comes last, but in an ordered pair, it goes first. The y part in here comes first, but in an ordered pair, it comes last. And then you've got to switch those signs because of the way the form is. Okay? So let's do this one. Y part goes here, and the sign would change. The x part goes here, and the sign is different. So the ordered pair on the line is negative 3, negative 4. Okay. All right. Look, we need to put everything up, and this sheet of paper's got to be up. I mean, literally, your exit ticket looks like this sheet of paper. So you got to have this put up. Yeah, just with a pass.